All right, that is the conclusion of the 2015 installment of the 5th anniversary of the Arnold Classic Europe. Here I'm joined with Kevin Levrone, the Maryland Muscle Machine, and Hall of Famer David Baye from MuscularDevelopment.com. We just got done looking straight in the eyes of a 45-year-old going on 46 years old, Dexter Jackson, who now holds 7 Arnold Classic titles in total, and he's got Prague next week. Does he look at all, I'm going to go to Kevin first, seniority, that he's going to be slowing down anytime soon?
Dexter doesn't look at all tired at all. He doesn't look exhausted. I mean, he just came off the Mr. Olympia, and to fly over here in Spain, walk off the plane, come in here and do what he just did, and the guy looks phenomenal. And I'm trying to look to see if, where I can see age setting in that.
Right.
I don't see his body. I don't see him aging at all, man.
And Dave, you and I were complaining about the jet lag that we had, and this guy goes up here and he kicks guys' butts like it's just another day on the job. What do you attribute that to? Is it just straight up consistency and he never takes time off?
Work ethic. Just straight work ethic. You hit the nail on the head, man. After a long weekend at the Olympia, just to get on a plane, fly 8.5 hours over here with jet lag and messing with your sleep and everything like that and all the other issues you deal with traveling, the guy does it, comes in here looking absolutely fantastic. And again, I think that is all attributed straight up to his work ethic.
Kevin, was he truly challenged for second place in Shawn Rhoden? Because we know last week, I think Dave and I agreed that Shawn Rhoden was fighting for second place. Here he gets second place. Last week he was third.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shawn Rhoden definitely pushed Dexter. You got to give it up for Shawn. The guy has beautiful shape. The symmetry is just there. He came in, he looked good. Yeah. But Dexter was just completely full, hard, all the way around. There was no weaknesses, nowhere. And I was actually looking for flaws on Dexter, thinking, his hamstrings might be going out or the glutes might be going out with the age coming in. And it was nothing. I mean, he was just completely solid. And when Dexter's on like that, he's hard to beat, man.
Yeah, well, Dave, we were complaining about the lighting, man. The lighting was atrocious at certain times of the competition. What does Shawn Rhoden have to do, or what was he lacking that enabled Dexter Jackson to slide into number one?
I think Shawn has been a little bit crisper than we've seen him so far this year. I remember last year's Olympia when Shawn came out on Friday night. I actually thought he had won after Friday night, and he was just razor sharp. And so Shawn's a guy we're used to seeing in really good condition, but we've seen him a little bit better than here in 2015. And also, as everybody knows, he needs to add a little bit more size to his back. It's definitely come up over the past few years, so it's not necessarily the glaring weakness that it was, if you can call it a weakness for him a few years ago. But I mean, he's right there. When you're going back and forth between Dexter and Shawn, I think you're really splitting hairs.
So where does that leave the big bad wolf? I mean, fourth place a week ago, a former champion here. He doesn't look like he's gaining ground on Dexter or Shawn in a genetic sense of the word. Yeah,
I mean, it's almost, I'm looking at Dennis's body, and it's almost like it's starting to go backwards, it looks like Dennis looks like he's a little tired to me. Maybe some time off, give his body a chance to heal and rest and to actually do what it wants to do on its own instead of pushing it. A lot of times when you push it like this, it shows.
The pecking order was exactly the same at the Mr. Olympia a week ago, and we saw Big Ramy picking up the number 5 spot.
Yeah, he looked obviously huge here, but same as far as conditioning goes. He wasn't really any sharper, maybe even a tad softer than we saw him at the Olympia. So still an incredible bodybuilder to see in person, a fan favorite just because of his freaky size and his demeanor. Really seems like one of the nice guys in this industry, which is kind of funny for how big he is to see him act like such a teddy bear. But yeah, he's got all the tools in the world, and we all know he's big enough, but he's really just got to focus on bringing razor sharp conditioning. And until he does that, this is where he's going to fall. He's always going to be big enough to where he can still be off in place in top 5, top 6 at these big shows and win other shows. But until he really nails his conditioning, he's always going to be on the outside looking into this winner's circle.
Yeah, do you agree with that? The conditioning is Big Ramy's biggest downfall. I mean, he's got the flat abs. He just doesn't have the detail in the back of his eyes.
Certainly. I mean, when you see that kind of muscle on someone, you really would like to see it come in honed, refined, sharp edges. You kind of somewhat remind me of a Ronnie Coleman when he kind of turns around and hit the back shot, but it's not popping, you know what I mean?
Well,
and it's like, he's certainly a fan favorite.
Yeah, and he's one of the younger guys that are up there, and rounding out the top 6 was Rolly Winkler, who still seems to be having a lower body, upper body disparity going on in terms of the conditioning and the size.
Yeah, Rolly's arms are probably the best, or I shouldn't say the best, but among the best we've ever seen in the IFBB. His front double bicep, absolutely insane. He has big quads, but his upper body is so big that it overshadows them a little. And my biggest, I guess, critique on Rolly's physique, he has really big obliques. And so when he's hitting his front shot, especially his front double bicep, you see those crazy arms and his thighs look good, but he's just got those big obliques. And it's not, he's done a great job at controlling his stomach. He was criticized for that at the Arnold earlier on this year. So he's done that, but again, really big obliques. So I think he's got to do something as far as his training regimen to help shave those down, streamline his physique, which I think will help balance everything out a little more.
And I think he knows that, but it's been a long weekend. We also had some fitness action. Oksana Grishina, 3-time champion here in Madrid, was challenged by Miriam Capes and Regina De Silva. To wrap this thing up, where does that leave Dexter Jackson for next year? Arnold Schwarzenegger said that they're adding China, they're adding South Africa. Naturally, we have the second anniversary of the Australian show. Your best advice as a veteran for Dexter Jackson's next move? Is it to shut it down and show up at the Mr. Olympia next year and try to win, or is it to try to go and rack up as many Arnold Classics titles as you can worldwide?
Well, I was talking to Dexter backstage, and Dexter said, hey, Kevin, how many years did you compete? I said 11 years, but I competed 68 times. So I did 8 shows in the average of 11 years straight. Depending on what his body is telling him, and only he knows that, hey, and that's what time will tell us, if he's going to go for it or not.
One thing that time is telling us, and that is it's standing still for Dexter the Blade Jackson. In an empty house here in Madrid, for Kevin Levrone, the Hall of Famer, and David Baye, I'm Shawn Ray, MuscularDevelopment.com.